Hello again, everyone. Michael Vosbein with Crescent Cymbals from Studio B. Recently I started a video blog, and since that time I stumbled upon an old video teaching segment I did with brushes from 30 years ago that I got a lot of good response from, and people have asked me to do a few more. However, there's so much good material out there for education that I'd rather just focus on some tips and tricks that pros have used, things I've learned over the past that I might pass along. And if you already know it, great. If you didn't know it and don't like it, disregard it. It's just one guy talking. But I'd like to start by talking about something very simple, like the way we set up the bandstand, however, from a drummer's perspective. There are a lot of ways to set up bandstands, as we all know, but let's start with the way a drummer orients himself at the kit. A lot of people think we face the front of house the same way the bass drum does, when in actuality we straddle the snare drum. So our body faces this way. That's why I have the camera over here. This is front and center. This is the way our bodies naturally face. So that brings to mind certain ergonomic principles that we'd like to get working for us if we can on the bandstand. It's very difficult looking this way to play the drums and look back there. Very difficult indeed. So what we want to have is our wheelhouse right here because of our orientation at the kit. That means we can see everything very clearly this way, not so much that way. Oftentimes we're called upon to read music. You might be on a riser that's jumping around. You have to be able to grab that music in case it's going to fall. You have to turn pages. You have DSs and codas and repeats and all manner of things. It's nice to have it here if you're a right-hand player so you can keep taking care of business with your dominant hand and do what you have to do with the music. It's nice to have the band over here so you can see them and make eye contact with everybody in this vicinity. It's nice if you have the music here to have the conductor there if there is one. Or maybe there's somebody downstage from the conductor, a singer, a dancer, some kind of artist, some kind of act that you have to keep in your vision. It all works very well this way. This is something that's been going on for decade after decade, and you want to try not to reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. Now, that being said, there are some times when staging considerations will trump the drummer's needs. So if you're set up in a bandstand where, like, the drummer's here, the bass player's there, the piano player's there, everybody else is behind your shoulder, when that happens to me, I always ask, is there a specific reason we need to set up this way? If so, I'll be happy to accommodate it. And so oftentimes there is. Yeah, Michael, there's actors' entrances and exits. There's props moving in and out. There's a camera on a dolly. It could be any number of things. Leader needs to be closer to the people. Any number of things. If that's the case, by all means, go with it. Make the gig, make it work, do your job. One thing you might try is, if everything's over there, turn the kit. Sometimes you can turn it completely facing that way, and the audience still has a good view of you. But this stuff, if you keep it in mind, it can really help you out of some situations that are most awkward if you don't keep that in mind. So, like I said, it's a tip, a trick pros have used for years. If it means something to you, take it and run with it. If it doesn't, it's just one guy talking. Okay, I'll chime in with some more of these as I think of them. Thanks a lot. Bye.